Hey everybody, thanks for being here. It is me, Laura Lely. And once again, the camera started on its own. Hold on a second. So, obviously, I wasn't planning on doing a message right at this moment. Well, I don't know if that's obvious, but it may be. But this one, so it's going to be really quick, but seems rather important. I just said, what is the most important message at this moment in time? God, dear God, what is the most important message at this moment in time? That's always what I ask. I always want to know the most important message for the moment in time, for the highest good of all, okay? That is what I always ask. And so we got the 9 of Wands in reverse. The wounded warrior is coming out of woundedness. Now remember, my interpretations of the cards are not always what the meanings of the cards are. It is a combination of that and my intuition and what God is bringing through and putting on my heart. Also, you know, these messages may not resonate for everyone. So if this isn't your message, there's plenty of other messages and other readers out there. I'm sure you'll find yours. Don't make it fit where it doesn't fit, is what the point is here. Take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. Okay. With all that out of the way, I'm going to just tell you the spread. And God's like, hey, we're surrounded in the highest divine healing white light of protection, love, light, and height. We are surrounded in the highest divine healing white light of love, light, protection, and guidance for the highest good of humanity, for the highest good of ourselves. And that goes, this has to be said, but this is for everyone, even those who are out there doing harm, assuming that they're not hurting anyone. These messages are for you as well, because they are meant to open up something within you that you're not connecting to yet, or you're not seeing yet, and these messages are being received by your higher self to assist you in your expansion, because we all came here to expand and to grow and to ascend. No one's getting left behind, okay? Just some people, the kernels don't pop right away, and then you have to make another batch, and you have to make another batch and another batch. Sometimes those kernels of popcorn don't pop right away. I was just giving that analogy because I was just making popcorn with my niece this past weekend. So eventually you'll pop. Eventually your light will turn on and you see what this is all about. But until then, you're going to hear these messages, or you're going to shut them off and come back to them another time because you just can't even handle listening to it because you're like, this is so dumb. That's fine. We're all at where we're at on our journey, and it's exactly where we're meant to be. No one's ahead or behind or anything. We're just exactly where we're meant to be. And when we can start realizing that and accepting exactly where we're at, it takes away that anxiety, and then that resistance starts to lift, and you start to accept where you're at and start to let things flow and happen for you instead of assuming everything is happening to you. Okay, so without further ado, let us get into the message. 3:23, I will say on the timestamp, is when the message starts. So what is the most important message for the collective, for the highest good of all involved at this very moment in time? Wounded warrior, 9 of Wands in reverse. And generally the 9 of Wands is like a card where you've been through it all, you've had all the 8 other wands thrown at you, and they're not all bad wands. There are good ones. It's just, this is saying you fought a long, hard battle. And what I was getting, it's like the hero's journey card to me. And when I got it in reverse, it was saying you are moving out of that time, of that path where this journey has been very, very hard and very difficult, or at least very challenging. And it seems like there have been a lot of experiences that didn't make a lot of sense, and it didn't seem like they were necessary lessons. And sometimes what we're going through is our own karma for things we don't even remember we did. Because no matter what, karma doesn't miss anyone. It comes to everyone whenever it wants to. I don't know the timing of it. But I am supposed to say, speaking of karma, what I was kind of shown is that the karma loop, what was so done in 2024 will be coming into either reward or, you know, what is it called when it's not really a reward, but you're still getting it? A consequence? That. So what was done in 2024 will be sown in 2025. or brought into harvest, fruition. Anyways, wow. Okay, let's talk about the message. It's a very interesting message. So you are moving out of the Nine of Wands energy. You have overcome many battles, and God is very proud of you. Source, light, universe is very proud of you. Unconditional love praises you. And you will be seeing the fruits of your labor coming in with your Queen of Pentacles coming out next. So you're moving from the Wounded Warrior into the Queen of Pentacles, and what magnified that for me so hard was the Sun. So you are victorious, and your deeds and your challenges have not gone unseen and unnoticed. What you have been through, many cannot even fathom it, and let alone, they would never be able to understand the journey you've gone through, and everybody's journey is very personal to them. However, this journey that you have been through has been through the ringer over and over again, and thinking that you are being punished because it's been so tumultuous. But you kept the faith, and you realized that you knew that God gave you that strength for a reason, that you didn't come into this world this courageous just to give up. And so you never gave up. And you always believed in yourself, and you kept going no matter what energies were being thrown at you, whatever projections they were sending your way, whatever ideas were coming into your mind to try to tell you to just stop, just to give up, that you don't know what you're doing and that you'll never figure it out and you might as well just not be here even. Whatever you did, you just said, no, I know who I am. I know there's a spark in me that wants me to keep going, and I'm not going to stop. And it didn't stop there. There were energies that thought, well, we'll keep them down long enough to siphon the energy and the knowledge and the wisdom from them, and we'll take it and we'll run with it, and we will present it as our own. And so there was energies out there that thought that they could just come in and take what is yours. And God laughed. God said, yeah, that's not yours, and you wouldn't know what to do with it if you had it. God's like, you're hilarious. Sit down. So whoever tried to come in and take, that knew who you were, that had been following you your whole life, probably since you were born, and aware of your gifts and aware that you weren't aware, so they thought, well, they don't know it's theirs, so basically it's mine. Basically, people had claimed your energy and your wisdom and your knowledge without your consent as theirs for a very long time now. And they thought they were getting away with it. And they thought, oh, we're going to present this information to the world as if it's ours, and no one will ever know what we've been doing in the dark and what illusions we've been casting onto this person or these people. Whoever you are, collective, you have some very important gifts that you are bringing into this world, and the world needs you right now. And God has had your back this whole time, whether you believe it or not. Obviously, you're still here, you're still standing, and you're stronger than you've ever been. And so when I got the Three of Cups card, I thought they were celebrating early because they thought that victory was theirs. They thought that they had already siphoned the energy and the information from you and ran off with it, with the Six of Swords here, them taking off with all that information. But then I realized, no, you are going to be celebrating because you are going to start seeing the fruits of your labor coming in with the Queen of Pentacles and the Sun. You are going to be very soon, if you haven't already, been having amazing, miraculous experiences happening in your world. You soon will be. And because you have done the healing, because you have put your time in and focused on yourself and said, hey, I know you deserve the best, little one, and you followed the voice of your inner child and you followed your heart and you healed, you will be victorious. You might even become famous. I'm not sure what's going on because the next row of cards, sorry, just 1 second, gotta stretch. Gotta get my evil eye out here, feeling some weird energies. Dear God, thank you for surrounding me in the highest divine healing light of creation and of protection and of guidance. Thank you for being with me now, God. Okay, so, and just so you all know, evil eye, this thing was invented way, way, way before any of us were ever on this planet, or even a thought. Well, we might have been living in another lifetime somewhere, having a different incarnation, but we weren't here. And this is definitely something that anybody sending negative energy towards you, this is a amulet of protection. So if you don't have one of these, it wouldn't hurt to have one, or just to envision it in your mind when you feel like somebody is sending you negative energy. Just think of unconditional love and think, I am the evil eye. Okay, so I'm just gonna hang that back up. But I just needed it because I was feeling a lot of energy. Okay. The next row was the cards that came out after that. So I'm just like, okay, so you're moving away from hardships, you're moving into your abundant, sovereign lifestyle that you've always deserved, because you are a divine being of light and you are sovereign and you already do have all your energy and power. But it would never hurt to just wake up every morning and reclaim your power and say, I call back my energy, I call back my power from anyone who attempted to take it, because it is mine. It is, I, Laura, declare my energy and power to be mine, and I call it back. It's simple, but even when people are having thoughts about you, or trying to write their script with you in it, and they're trying to be the hero of your story, the main character in your story, you just call back your energy and you say, hey, that's mine, not yours. Thanks anyways. Bye, Felicia. Okay? So the next thing you know, you realize that all along, this whole time, you have been the magician, and that it has been you creating this reality the whole time, and that God did put all of these energies on your path to make you see your power and your strength and your courage, to help you grow stronger as a light warrior and to become the person you came here to be. Again, everything is always happening for you and not to you, even though in the moment of the things happening, it really feels like you're being bullied. It's for a greater cause. There's always something greater outside of us that is occurring. There's the macro and the micro, okay? So you are the magician. You had to feel lack. You had to feel like you didn't have enough. You had to feel like you weren't enough. You had to feel stuck. You had to feel like there was no changing your situation. You had to feel like there was no way this was ever going to change. You had to feel so stuck, and you had to be in your head for so long and feel so confused, so that you could, with your own energy and power, transmute all of this energy, all of this lack, all of this unknowing, all of this confusion, all of the illusions, all of the perspectives that were not serving your highest good, and realize that you were the magician. You came here to transmute all of these energies, to see them for what they were, to thank them for the lessons that they gave you, and then to say, you've served your purpose, and I thank you, and I love you, and you I can't say it. Ho'oponopono prayer it, and you say, thank you, I love you, I am sorry, please forgive me, you are forgiven. And you let them burst like a bubble and just move away, and you move forward as the magician that you are and create the world that you came here to create. All of that heartache, all of those hardships, that was all in order to make you the spiritual warrior and the spiritual badass and the light warrior that you are, that you came here to be. And now the towers will be coming in for all of those who attempted to stop you or slow you down or to take what is yours. Take what is yours. No one can take what is yours. This is your destiny, nobody else's. And God wants you to remember that. God's always been with you. You've never been alone. You have built the solid foundation that you required in order to fulfill the life that you came here to fulfill. Before, you didn't have a ground to stand on. You didn't have the stability, and you felt like you were just out there floating and like everything was happening to you, and then you had to realize that you were in control, and then you had to take control, and then you had to fight all these spiritual battles, and then you had to realize how strong you really were, and that you are the star of the show, and that you did come here for bigger things than what you have been doing, that maybe 9 to 5 is just not your calling any longer, and that you will be abundant beyond your wildest imagination, because the 10 of Pentacles came out to say that you will have all of the desires of your heart, and you will be well taken care of. You will be an abundant creator, and you've been co-creating with God and the universe and light this entire time, whether you knew it or not. So that was the message. I know it got a little long-winded, but it is really important to realize that you went through all of the things that you went through in order to build the solid foundation that you are required to have in order to take on this next chapter of your life. And God gave you the strength. And now it is time for you to take this leap of faith into the next chapter of your life, because everything that you had to come here and learn was just to help you on the next leg of the journey, if you will. So you are moving on to bigger and better. You have closed out cycles that were no longer serving you. But again, all of those lessons were for a reason, for your highest good. And now it's time to start enjoying life a little more and reap the benefits of your belief. And since you always believed that something greater was occurring and that nothing was harming you, look, the most important thing is you've always been taken care of throughout this entire journey. As hard as it's gotten, you've survived. And you have had the strength to survive, and you've had the magic within you all this time. And God wanted you to see that magic. It had to be seen to be believed, but you believed that it was there before you saw it. So remember, believing is seeing, because when you believe, you create it and you receive it. What you think, you become. What you attract, what you feel, you attract, and what you imagine, you create. We came here to create worlds more wonderful and sustainable by our own hands and our own ways of thinking and being. We don't need to rely and depend on people outside of ourselves. We have it all within us, and we came here to bring it to the world and to create the abundant lifestyles that we all deserve and desire for the highest good of ourselves and the highest good of all involved. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. If you build it, they will come. Wake up and dream big, and I will see you on the next one. I love you. Mean it. Bye. Mwah.